Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Steins. In the last episode, Rintaro managed to leap back in time and attempted to rescue his hostage, or rather, escape with his hostage, Mayuri, from the clutches of SERN's infamous hit squad. Unfortunately, in his haste, Rintaro forgot too late that SERN's terrorist bomb threat ultimately held up all the lines leading in and out of Akihabara, or most of them anyway. Thanks to this miscalculation, he attempted to escape on foot, but it was unfortunately pursued by numerous SERN hitmen. In a last-ditch attempt to escape, Rintaro attempted to jump a fence and go across a road with Mayuri, but was unfortunately struck directly by none other than Moroku Kiryu, who was driving an unmarked white van. Although Rintaro survived with serious injuries and bruises, Mayuri unfortunately was instantly killed by Moroku Kiryu. And as a result, Rintaro was forced to make his way back to the Future Gadget Lab and attempt yet another time leap. A screeching in my ears, needles stabbing into my brain, 1,000 emotions flooding my senses. The world bends, pulses, then returns to normal. The pain of my wounds has vanished like magic, replaced by piercing pain in my brain. That's the only silver lining of the time leap machine, is that all the injuries you suffered in the future get erased. The past. I fight back a wave of nausea and take stock of the situation. I'm sitting on the sofa with my phone to my ear. Another successful time leap. That makes 3. Technically this is 2. This would make this the second, given that, no, this can't be. Now I'm losing my memory here. Let's see, Moroku and her team stormed in and killed Mayuri, which prompted Rintaro to go back in time. That was the first time leap. And, then there was the escape attempt that I just mentioned, which ultimately resulted in Mayuri becoming roadkill for Moroku Kiryu. That's second. And this is the second time. The third time would ultimately be if we completely missed the opportunity to call Mayuri when we made the first time leap, then the events of the original SERN raid would have happened par for the course, and Rintaro would have been forced to jump through again, which would have made this the third one. But because we managed to call Mayuri sooner than expected, this is not technically the third one, so we've actually created a time paradox of sorts, but it doesn't seem to have unraveled the fabric of space and time. Looks like the time leap machine works perfectly. I'm sure it would boost Kurisu's confidence if I told her. But that will have to wait until Mayuri's out of danger. I stand up and look around the lab. Mayuri! And apparently Kurisu's here. Kurisu, who was dozing off next to me, wakes up with a jerk at the sound of my voice.
大声出さないでよ。徹夜明けなんだから少し休ませろ。
Kurisu's understandably a bit cranky, having worked so long on the time leap machine itself. But unfortunately we have no time to waste. We need to know where Mayuri is.
長、いきなりなんぞ。マユ氏ならルカ氏のところ行くって言ってたじゃん。
So apparently, Mayuri went to Yanabayashi Shrine. She's already gone. I should call or send a mail. That is a good idea, Rintaro. We should probably contact her. I don't know what to do. Hopefully she picks up this time. And it's the it's Mayuri's voicemail.
Mayuri! 今どこに?
Oh, of course it is. I got her voicemail. Indeed we did. It's the same as before. Why did I forget? Before I time leaped, I should have asked Mayuri where she was today. Also, we forgot that Mayuri's phone has a flat battery, so she can't call us, even if she had her phone. Or had her phone on. Well, if she had a flat battery, then there's no way that her phone would be on at all to begin with. I'm not thinking straight. I have to calm down. Wait a minute, I know. Last time we failed because we went to Akihabara Station. I should have known that SERN would be watching. Well, considering the fact that they were the ones that implemented the terrorist threat in the first place, that should have been a dead giveaway. This time we'll take another taxi to another station, oh, not another taxi since we haven't taken one yet, or maybe we have, we don't know. Hooray for time paradoxes. We'll take a taxi to another station and then hide somewhere until things calm down. For now, all I can do is wait for Mayuri to return. It's driving me crazy. We should also probably think about informing Daru and Kurisu of what's happened. I consider explaining the situation to them, but I just don't have the strength to do that right now. Besides, I don't want to get them involved. I think we're all pretty involved in this, Rintaro. I'll take care of myself. I won't let any more of my friends die. I don't think that is a promise that we can actually keep easily enough there. As before, the Braunshi workshop closes early. Mayuri appears as Suzuha and Mr. Braun are leaving. We run through Kanada Mojin's back streets to Ochanomizu Station, taking only minimal precautions to avoid attracting attention. We have to get there before the Sobu line shuts down. We manage to make it to the station without being stopped. But when we get there, I see a group of men waiting by the entrance. They look like SERN. Change of plans. We turn and head for the Shin Ochanomizu subway station. We arrive at the station later than I intended. Probably should have arrived here first. I don't usually come here, so I got lost. I stare nervously at the platform clock. According to the scrolling display, the Yamanote, Keihin, Toku, and Sobu lines have already suspended operations. So that's the terrorist demand bomb threat being put into effect. And it apparently looks like the Chiyoda line has been shut down as well. It must be protocol to assume that nearby stations may be threatened, even stations on unconnected lines. Damn. Looks like our ways out are getting cut off. Mayuri hasn't said a word about my strange behavior. This is the second time I've led her on this escape, not the third time. Otherwise, this would actually be a time paradox, which it probably already is. But each time she follows me without complaint. Does she really trust me that much? Maybe she can feel my desperation. That's why I want to save her so badly. We've been together for more than a decade. She's like a little sister to me. I'll leap as many times as it takes. Mayuri tilts her head quizzically. I realize that I'm staring at her.
あのね、オカリ、マユシーは聞きたいこといっぱいあるけど、今は我慢しとくね。
Better to save your questions for after we're out of
その代わ
Akihabara.
り、終わったらね、全部聞かせてほしいです。
I pinky swear on that promise.
なあ、約束する。
Mayuri smiles happily at that answer. That's right. While we wait for the train, I should ask her about her whereabouts today. If I have to leap again, I'll need all the information I can get.
お前、ルカ子に会った後はどこに行っていた？
吹雪ちゃんからメールがあってね、マユシーのボスにちょっと問題発生しちゃってたのです。糸がほつれてるところがあったんだ。
If we remember, she said she was making a costume for Fubuki, probably around the same time that Kurisu was still developing the time leap machine. Unfortunately, we don't know where Fubuki's address is.
それを直しに。
Apparently, Mayuri went to fix Fubuki's costume before returning to the lab.
吹雪ちゃんというのはどこに住んでいる？
住んでるっていうかね、今ちょうど UPX のスタベまで来てたのです。
So, the Starbucks at UPX. So, now we have a point of reference. So that's where she was. Just then, an announcement plays over the PA system. The subway is resuming normal operations. About 20 minutes have passed since we arrived here. It's too quiet. Although I'm willing to hope that SERN probably won't anticipate that we have come down here. There's only so many places they can look after all. I didn't expect to be stuck here that long, but it's okay. Right now, Morika should be in Akihabara, heading to the lab. Everything is going to be alright. While waiting for the train, I examined the route map on the station's notice board. We can transfer to an overland train at Yoyogi Uehara. It will take a while, but that will take us all the way to Odawara. Sorry. It's a very good thing that there are no CERN goons around here. I probably just jinxed myself in that case. But once we get on the train, unless we're intercepted by CERN on the way there, it should be smooth sailing. Another announcement. Our train is arriving. Excellent. I can hear the rumbling and can see the lights at the end of the tunnel. Mayuri and I are standing just behind the white light. What are you doing? You should probably stand a bit further back from the edge of the platform there, Rintaro. Just in case we get ambushed, which is probably very likely given what has just transpired. Also, standing behind one of these pillars over here may actually be a better opportunity, good idea. I reach her hand, meaning to dash for the train when the doors open, but I guess there's no hurry now. I let my hand fall to my side, empty. We should still probably stand a little bit further away from the edge of the platform. The roar comes closer. Mayuri is saying something. I can't quite hear her over the train. Should probably get away from the edge of the platform there, Rintaro. Wait a minute, that's a little girl's voice. Suddenly, Mayuri disappears. Oh no. There she is, leaning out over the tracks. She's off balance, as if she stumbled or someone pushed her. She seems to hang there for a moment, and then the train comes screaming into the station. Why did you stand in front of the white line, you... Oh no. I hear a sound from under the train. I can't describe it, but it makes me instantly nauseous. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that this one is your fault, Rintaro. Sparks fly as the train slams on its brakes. The people on the platform are screaming, "Look at these two people! They're well behind. Why did you have to stand on the yellow... on... Why? Why, Rintaro? If you'd just been standing behind the yellow line, or where these two people were standing, Mayuri would have been fine." I turned to where Mayuri was just a moment ago. There stands a familiar little girl, tiny, adorable, a cute black rabbit pouch slung over her shoulder. There can only be one individual, Nai Tanuji. She looks up at me. Her eyes are wide. Her lips tremble. And she's clearly traumatized by what has just transpired. Normally she jumps up and hugs her out of nowhere, but unfortunately in this case it has led to a very tragic conclusion. It wasn't your fault. She stares at me for a few more seconds as if waiting for me to say something, then turns and runs away. We can't really blame Nai for this. This was pretty much our fault. Or Rintaro, it's like, why did we stand that close to the edge of the platform when something like that was bound to happen? The platform is in chaos. The PA informs us that there's been a personal injury accident. Nai is already gone. I don't go after her. Instead, I peek timidly through the gap between the train and the platform. One side of the track is a wash of red. My mind is blank. I can't think. I don't even remember how I got back to the lab or why we didn't get caught by SERN or Moeka. Her group should have come and gone, but the time loop machine is still here, though for some reason they didn't confiscate it. I guess I should be grateful for that. Well, it looks like we're going to have to time leap once again. It takes longer than usual to set up the machine. For some reason I have trouble recalling my own phone number. At last, it's ready. So this will now be technically the third time leap. Now, take me back. Take me back to the rainbow. That rainbow kind of magic. It's 8:45. And we've time leapt all the way back to 5 hours. 3:45. And we're back once again in the Future Gadget Laboratory. The leap occurs instantaneously. Taito claimed that his time machine takes 1 hour of subjective time travel, subjective time to travel 10 years. I don't know if ours has the same behavior, but now is not the time to find out. 10 years. I have no business that far back. Besides, according to Kurisu, time leaping too far into the past could cause mental disorders due to the gap between personality and memory.
Juicy karage #1.
And there is Mayuri with her favorite juicy chicken #1. Mayuri is singing her chicken song, though she's actually eating pre-cooked chicken from the convenience store instead of her usual juicy chicken #1. She had to switch because she can't warm up frozen chicken in the microwave, which is now a dedicated part of the time leap machine. I was right to come back 5 hours. Mayuri is still in the lab. But what the hell happened back there? It hurts, but I force myself to recall that horrifying scene. And horrifying it definitely was. Mayuri died again. This time, it happened at Shin Ochanamizu Station, a place completely unrelated to the lab or the bomb threat. Nai Tanuji pushed her onto the tracks where the train tore her to shreds. Could Nai be working for SERN too? Well, she's just a kid. No, that can't be right. Nai has a habit of jumping on Mayuri and greeting. She was probably just being her usual affectionate self. Indeed she was, Rintaro. But why did she choose that precise moment? I don't know. I sense malice. Whose malice? It's like fate itself is playing a cruel joke on us. Whatever the case, all that matters now is that I have another chance. I need to act. I have the power to save Mayuri. I will do whatever it takes to find a way. Whatever it takes. This time, we hail a taxi on Chidori. It's expensive, but that hardly matters now. Mayuri comes along quietly. I consider taking her home to Ukebukuro, but Moku's group might be watching her house. I have no idea where they are at this point in time. Instead, I asked the driver to take us to Shinagawa. However, the traffic is unusually heavy. The driver says it's never been this bad before. There must be an obstruction ahead, an accident or something. That's the only explanation I can think of. We've made it out of Akiba, but at this rate it will take forever to reach Shinagawa. I consider getting off here and taking the train, but then again, I remember what happened at the station. I have a bad feeling about this. The traffic jam could be SERN's doing. I look out the window and scan the crowd for anyone who might be a SERN agent. We should probably get out of the car at this point. 3 hours later, we're still stuck. Yeah, we definitely should have gotten out of the car at this point. According to a conversation I overheard between our driver and another driver, there's some kind of inspection up ahead. Furthermore, it doesn't seem to be a police inspection, and a small fight broke out at the inspection site or something. To make matters worse, this road has already been closed off, and all the cars behind us are being detoured. There are only about 100 cars waiting, but the inspection has been at a standstill for 3 hours. This can't be a coincidence. Once again, I feel the malice of fate, manipulating the situation. Is Mayuri going to die again? If I'd known if it was going to turn out like this, I'd have ditched the taxi hours ago. We probably did know it was going to turn out like this, and we probably should have ditched it when we could. It's not too late. I should pay the driver and get off right. Yeah, we waited too long. Just then someone knocks on the window. Our taxi is stopped in the middle of the road. What's going on? I look over, but before I can say anything, the man opens the rear door and gets into next to Mayuri. He's holding a knife. Another SERN assassin. Yeah, it's unfortunately a little too late. Before she can reply, the man covers Mayuri's mouth with a large meaty hand. I try to open my door, but it's locked. Only the driver can open it from the inside. Mayuri opens her eyes wide. Her body twitches. It all happened too fast. The man sinks his knife into Mayuri's chest. A bright spot stains her clothes. And once again, Mayuri is dead. Another man gets into the passenger seat. He points a gun at the driver and says something to him. Strength drains from Mayuri's body. Her eyes slowly close. A tear rolls down her cheek. I watched her die inches away, powerless to stop it. I can feel her last breath against my skin. They killed her again. Why? For what purpose? Why can't I save her? Why won't you let me save her? Who decided that Mayuri must die? Marika? SERN? Or does this world itself wish for Mayuri's death? I won't accept that. I clench my jaw and throw myself forward, driving my forehead into the killer's nose. He falls back. I shout at the driver. I crawl out of the taxi and take off running through the traffic jam. After running for hours, I make it back to the lab. Luckily, the time leap machine is still there. I have to leap again. And back we go. Once again into the past. Fourth time's the charm. Every time we run, Mayuri dies. 6 hours into the past, I clutch my head and rack my brain for an answer. I feel like I've hit a dead end. What do I do if we can't run away? Is there no way to save her? There has to be some way we can keep Mayuri alive. And speaking of which, Mayuri is right here next to us. Mayuri's blank stare is the only answer I get. Well, in that case, I believe now is a good time to end the episode. When we return, adventurers, we shall try to solve this conundrum and figure out if there is any way that we can actually escape Akiba alive with Mayuri and without having to time leap again. But that's for the next episode. So, as always, adventurers, until next we meet.